10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Group 1 presents Panel Discussion. Moderator Jobert Balyon, the panelists Jeneline Humawan, Princess April Capino, Kelaine Ann Martinez, Regine Castro, Cleofe Perez, Rosalie Peremilia, Maria Ana Grace Daza, Emeline Hayobo, Giselle Abelion, Senya Cartagena, Marjorie Andaya, Ivy Jane Agustin, Meryl Escobar, JC Andres Alvarico, Alexander Joy Villar, and Mr. Raymond Banyaria.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are very much privileged for your time and effort in attending this panel discussion. Despite of the hectic schedule, still we've managed to take time for this one since we are going to tackle different topics that is all related to the implementation of that curriculum. And I am very honored to present to you our panel board for this afternoon. They are considered to be facilitators inside the classroom to continuously molding the young minds of the learners coming from this University of Filipino Science and Technology. First, we have Ms. Jeneline Humawan, Ms. Princess April Capino, Ms. Kelaine Ann Martinez, Ms. Regine Castro. Another one is Ms. Cleofe Perez. We have Ms. Maria Ana Grace Daza, Ms. Rosalie Peremilia, Ms. Emeline Hayubo, Ms. Giselle Abelion, Ms. Senya Cartagena, Ms. Marjorie Andaya, Ms. Ivy Jane Agustin, Ms. Miriam Escobar, Ms. JZ Andrea Salvadico, Ms. Alexandra Joy Villar, and Mr. Raymond Banyaria. They are all comprising, coming from the different departments of this university. The SEA integration and with the demand brought about with a fact-changing society, it is most likely that curricular developments and innovations will happen. In curriculum, development reforms and innovations are being introduced to keep pace with a changing world. This module brings you to some curricular development reforms and innovations both in local and around the globe. So this panel discussion covers the topics coming from the outcomes-based education.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Maria Ana Grace Daza, and outcome-based education is one of the dominant curriculum innovation in higher education study. It came out as a curriculum requirement for specific fields of study in engineering, nursing, tourism, among others, and as SEA education framework for higher education requires all colleges, universities, and institutes to transform all their educational programs to OBE, or what we call outcome-based education.
Okay, so with that, Ms. Daza, I would like to ask if what is the relation of OBE to curriculum implementations and the teachers as curriculum leaders?
So OBE is a curriculum design. A strong curriculum design delivered by a well-prepared and well-educated educator can surely achieve appropriate learning outcomes by the students.
Okay, so thank you so much for that. That is the outcome-based education in the learner side.
To sum up, outcome-based education, or OBE, is a learner-centered education approach focuses on students able to do.
So thank you so much for that. Next.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Princess April Capino. OBE is defined as a curriculum design that ensures coherent, logical, and systematic alignment between and among different levels of outcomes. OBE also ensures connection among the essential elements of the curriculum: intent, content, learning experiences, and evaluation. So, OBE involves a diverse structure of curriculum assessment and reporting practices in education to reflect the achievement of high-order learning.
So with that, Ms. Capito, for you, what is the importance of the OBE in the curriculum?
The importance of a PE in the curriculum, it moves from subject-specific outcomes and across discipline outcomes to learn long-term that are directly related to students' life growth.
So thank you for that. Next, we are going to proceed for the different levels and types of outcomes. The first one, we have this institutional level. So, for the institutional level, Ms. Marjorie, could you please explain to us the meaning of institutional level?
So thank you for asking about the meaning of institutional level. So this refers to the educational setting, including the academic requirements, the curriculum, teaching practices, and the social and institutional climate. So it is also often organized according to the subjects and includes topics and themes to be studied. So also includes standards in philosophy, is the lesson plans and teaching guides. So it also includes the mission, the vision, and the aims. So
So, what do you think is the use of institutional level in curriculum and its effect on the learners?
it provides educational opportunities and prepares students for successful careers in professional and career technical fields in increasingly global environment. So it also prepares students with fundamental knowledge of general education or requirements. So in here, the students have the ability on seeing their future and what kind of careers they wanted to take in the future, and the school are helping them to and shaping them also to the person they wanted to be in the future.
Okay, so in addition for that, what Martin said, so I would like to elaborate what is the philosophy, vision, mission, and aims. So when we talk about philosophy, it refers to what are the things that they are doing in that said institution. And when we talk about vision, it is a statement outline of a school objectives, and vision statements indicate how the school aims to achieve it. When we talk about the mission, it also refers to the highest level of academic achievement, enable them to reach and expand their potential and prepare them to become productive, responsible, and creative members of the society. And in the aims, it refers to the specific goals of the needs to attain at the end of the school year.
Okay, so thank you so much for that, Ms. Marjorie and Ms. Daisy and yourself and Kiko. Now let us now proceed to the next level, which is the program level.
Program goals are the statement of knowledge and the outcomes of the programs of the future. They describe the knowledge, skills, and the values expected of the purpose and should be consistent with the mission of the program and the vision of the institution.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Productive of what Martinez said, that both competencies are framed broadly to encompass the complex aspect of the degree. They are the things that students will have more even they graduate from the program. So the examples of program competencies are the analytical reasoning, ethical thinking, or quantitative skills.
Okay, so before we end for that program level part, I would like to address this question first to Ms. Martinez. If what is the difference between program goals and the program objectives?
Thank you very much for that question. The program objectives specify how the program goals will be achieved and should include method for evaluating results, while the program goals should clearly state intentions of the program objectives and should describe the mechanism and strategies used to accomplish those intentions.
So, on the other hand, Ms. Castro, what are the learning competencies in the program level?
So the learning competencies is often defined specific applied skills and knowledge that enable people to successfully perform in their work.
Okay, so thank you so much for the two of you. Next, we are going to tackle what is the course level.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maria Gutierrez. So, course level means the degree of difficulty or the complexity of the content of a course. Such specific subject area, such as an honors level course. Next is, good afternoon everyone, I am Rosalie Bernadia. Next is instructional objectives are specific, measurable, short-term, observable students' behaviors. They indicate the desirable knowledge, skills, or attitudes to be gained. An instructional objective is the focal point of a lesson plan.
Okay, so thank you for that overview if what course level is. But before we proceed to our next topic, I would like first to address this question to both of you. If what is the relationship between the course objectives and instructional objectives? If you prefer to please aside some examples.
Course objective specifies behavior, skill, or action that a student can demonstrate if they have achieved mastery of the objective. It also describes what a faculty member will cover in the course. So, the example of course objective, student will gain an understanding of the historical origins of art history. While the instructional objectives it helps teachers stay focused on what and how they teach and help students monitor their own learning. Whether we have job or post-secondary learning, students will need to be able to align their activities with set objectives.
So thank you so much for that. To enlighten us more about OBE, may we have the continuation of what it plays about in the curriculum implementation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ivy. So, when we say OBE as a curriculum design, it means it enables higher education. Institutions will develop various curricula based on the needs of students and government's own
Since you have talked about curriculum design, for you, Ms. Agustin, what is the purpose of OBE or the outcome-based education as curriculum design?
Thank you for that. So, the purpose of OBE as a curriculum design is that encourages educational institutions to clearly focus and organize the learning environment that supports the development of students and the implementation of the curriculum.
So thank you so much, Ms. Agustin, for that. So furthermore, Ms. Avignon, can you add some details, please?
So in addition to the definition of OBE, so this means starting with a clear picture of what is important for students to be able to do, then organizing the curriculum, instruction, and assessment to make sure this learning and learning ultimately. So OBE is an approach to planning, delivering, and awaiting instructions that requires administrators, teachers, and students to focus their attention and efforts to the desired results of education.
So with that details that you have imparted on us, I would like to ask if how outcome-based education or OBE being important in the curriculum implementation.
The OBE is important for students to be able to do and organize the curriculum, instructions, and assessment to make sure this learning is ultimately happen.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ms. Avignon, for that details. So now let us now proceed to the next topic about outcome-based education, and that is all about the two common approaches of to an OBE curriculum.
So good afternoon, everyone. I am Sanya Cartanena, and to discuss with the two common approaches to an OBE or outcome-based education, we have first the traditional or transitional approach, which means it emphasizes student mastery of traditional subject-related academic outcomes, usually with a strong focus on subject-specific content and also cross-discipline outcomes such as the ability to solve problems for collaboratively. Next is transformational approaches, which emphasize the long-term cross-curricular outcomes that are related directly to the student's future life roles, such as being a productive worker or a responsible citizen or a parent.
So thank you so much for giving us insights about the two of that. But before that, Miss Sanya, for you, how would you apply these two different approaches in the field of education?
So this means that OP or outcome-based education moves from subject-specific outcomes and cross-discipline outcomes to long-term cross-curricular outcomes that are directly related to the student's future life goals.
Thank you very much for that. The next to be discussed are the four essential principles in the OBE. So the first discussant is Ms. Villar.
Once again, good afternoon everyone. I'm Alessandra Joy Villar and I'm sharing with you the four essential principles in OB. The first one is clarity focus. It is a clear focus on what teachers want learners to learn. To achieve this, teachers and learners should have a clear picture and in mind what knowledge, skills, value must be achieved at the end of the teaching learning process. And the next one is designing backwards at the beginning of a curriculum design. The learning outcome has to be clearly defined. What to achieve at the end of formal schooling is determined at the beginning. And also, decisions are always traced back to desired results. And lastly, this means that planning, implementing, and assessing should be connected to the outcomes.
Okay, so with that, Ms. Villar, for you, what is the importance of assessment of achieved learning to OBE?
It is important because OBE helps assess and prepare every student's achievement record to decide their course of action in a new environment.
For that. So the last two components, please, Ms. Escobar.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. I am Mira Escobar and to continue with the four essentials. Third is high expectations. Establishing high expectations, challenging standards of performance will encourage students to learn better. This is linked to the premise that successful learning promotes more successful learning as mentioned by Stacy in 1994. So educators are expected to establish challenging standards of high performance in order to encourage their learners to engage deeply in what they are learning. This act of educators promotes more successful learning. And fourth is expanded opportunities. In OBE, all students are expected to excel, hence equal expanded opportunities should be provided. As advocates of multiple intelligences, every child has a genius in him or herself that is capable of doing the best. So, based on the idea that not all learn set in the same style in the same duration, thus educators must strive to provide expanded opportunities for their learners. It is well noted that most learners can achieve very high standard of provided appropriate opportunities.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Escobar. So, what is the essence of OBE in the field of education?
For that, the essence of OBE in education is a model of education that rejects the traditional focus on what the school provides to students in favor of making students demonstrate that they know and are able to do whatever the required outcomes are. OBE reforms emphasize settings, clear standards of observable, measurable outcomes.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ms. Escobar, for that information coming from you. Now let us proceed to the next topic to be tackled, and that is all about teaching, learning in OBE, to be introduced to us by Ms. Hayogo.
Good afternoon everyone, I am Emily Hayogo. Teaching, learning in outcome-based education. Teaching is teaching if learners learn. Learning is measured by its outcome. Whatever approach to teaching is used, the intent should focus on learning rather than on teaching. Subjects do not exist in isolations, but links between them should be made. It is important that students learn how to learn. Hence, a teacher should be innovative. How, when should teaching learning be done in OBE?
Okay, so with that, how then should teaching, learning be done in OBE?
OBE does not specify a specific method of instruction, leaving instructors free to teach their students using any method. Instructors will also recognize diversity among students by using various teaching and assessment techniques during their class. Outcome-based education is meant to be a student-centered learning model.
Thank you so much, Ms. Layo. And for the remaining topics about the outcome-based education, we will contrast and compare what is the traditional view and what is the outcome OBE view in the field of education, specifically in the implementation of that curriculum. So the first one to be discussed is the traditional view. So I would like first to raise this question towards you, Mr. Banyaria, if what is the basic aim of traditional view in the education system?
So good afternoon everyone, my name is Raymond. So the basic aim of the traditional education system is to pass on the knowledge of the previous generation to the upcoming generation of students. So even the most experienced staff members are concerned only about teaching the curriculum and don't have the enthusiasm to stretch their lesson beyond the classroom. They just want the student to learn and mop up things being taught. To be honest, the curriculum plays a vital role in providing deeper insight regarding different subjects to the student. The more practicality is included, the more student will develop essential skills that guarantee a career worth pursuing.
So, Ms. Janeline, can you add some more details with regards to the difference between the traditional view and to the OBE view?
So before proceeding to the answered question by the moderator, I will first explain what is the outcome-based education. So unlike traditional view, the outcome-based education is comprises of the following. So we have here first the learning, second the learning outcomes, the third one is the knowledge is already exists, the students, the fourth one is the teachers are the designers, and the last one is teachers and the students are collaborative effort. So to add with the questions provided by the moderator, what is the difference between the traditional view and the outcome-based education? Traditional education focuses too much on what the teachers teach as input rather than the students are learning as outcome. On the other hand, the outcome-based education emphasizes a learning-centered self-learning approach. So if we consider the situations between the traditional and the outcome-based education, the outcome-based education view is related to the students. The teachers are only the designers of the curriculum. Instead, the students are the priority of the learning topics. They are the learners. They are collaborating with the efforts given by the teachers. The teachers are only the guide, the center of the planned implementation of the curriculum and the subject itself, while the students are one who is practicing the related topics inside the subject they are discussing.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much everyone for the shared insights with regards to the outcome-based education. But I would like first to emphasize that OBE or the outcome-based education could be considered also as an educational theory that bases each part of an educational system around goals or the outcomes of the implementation of the curriculum. So by the end of every educational experience, each student should have achieved that specific goal or that specific outcome. So there is no single specified style of teaching or assessment in OBE, but instead, classes, opportunities, and assessment should all help students achieve the specified outcome. Always remember that the role of the faculty or the teachers only adapts into instructor, trainer, facilitator, and or mentor based on the outcomes by time. Thank you so much everyone for your time and for being with us this afternoon. God bless us all.
Thank you.